Welcome back, guys. Trying to Fly Photography, Justin Ramsey. Hope you guys are doing well. We got another Wasteland Weekend video coming at ya. It's funny because I got all these points and I'm like, oh yeah, this will be a short video because I can talk about all these super quick. Yeah, nope, apparently not. So standard disclaimer for the Wasteland Weekend video. Might get a little bit vulgar. You might see some skin. So that's your warning. I'll give you time to go ahead and click off if you may be offended. Okay, so today we're kind of talking about my personal experiences at Wasteland Weekend, but as someone who volunteered to be part of the film crew. So I found out about Wasteland Weekend because I like to shoot for photography kind of apocalypse stuff. I like to really shoot stylized portraiture and stuff like that. Trying to get away from the normal, oh, let's show up and make everything look pretty and blah, blah, blah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still like to think that I make things look pretty, but in a unique way, if that makes sense. So anyways, that's more about my photography, less about Wasteland. So let's talk Wasteland. So anyways, I had found out about Wasteland Weekend. YouTube, I think. I don't know. Anyways, I found out about it. I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And Shandy, the fiance, and I, we were talking, and it was around our birthdays. You know, they were coming up. Like, what do you want for your birthday? I don't know. What do you want for your birthday? I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. So anyways, it came about. I was like, you know what? I don't know what I want this year, but next year I want to go to this festival called Wasteland Weekend. And so I showed her a few videos that I had found on YouTube and stuff. And she's like, that looks pretty cool. I think that'd be awesome. You should go. Why not this year? I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm still thinking. I don't know if there's going to be enough time. I don't even know if there's going to be tickets still available. Blah, 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 blah. And Shandy's like, you need to go to that. So she kicked me out of this world to the festival that is Wasteland Weekend. It was awesome. And I became a man obsessed. And I just researched. So one thing is the whole COVID-19 vaccination crap. I was on the fence. Do I get it? Do I not? Do I get it? Do I not? And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't see the harm in getting it, but I want to wait so that other people would have the chance to get it first that need it more. You know, I'm fairly healthy, minus the cigarettes. I'm fairly young. I know lots of people needed it and wanted it first, right away. So I was like, I'll take my time. I'll get it eventually. Did some research. The event is fully vaccinated. You have to be fully vaxxed to attend, which, you know, good, bad, doesn't matter. It's opinions at this point, in my opinion. Get it? So anyways, that pushed me over. I went up and I got the shot. And okay, time went on. I started making my outfits and designing stuff and thinking and yada, 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 what I was going to do, how I was going to do things. Funny story. Basically, I got my second shot and then you had to wait that 2 weeks or whatever. The day that I was fully vaxxed after that 2 weeks was literally the day that I was allowed in to Wasteland Weekend. Like, whoo! Because I spent lots of money and time and energy and all this stuff to go to this festival, and unbeknownst, I almost missed it just because of one freaking day getting the second round of shots for the COVID stuff. And it was like, what? Weird. So anyways, Shandy and I were talking about the festival and attending and how do I do it and what do I want to do and do I take my camera, do I not, blah, 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 blah. Do they have tickets? Well, as I was trying to figure out those answers, I came across that they allowed volunteers. And on the list of volunteers was video. I mean, there's medical, there's check-in, there's cleanup, there's a whole slew of areas that you can volunteer, which, by the way, I highly suggest you do. Not only do you get your free admission, but you also get to participate, and it forces you to meet people and mingle and stuff. And that was another good point for me because weirdly enough, I'm actually kind of shy in big groups around people I don't know. You wouldn't think it watching these videos, huh? But it's true. I was like, well, maybe I could volunteer to be part of the photography group. Like, that sounds cool. And so I researched and researched and researched, and no photo volunteers anywhere. I was like, what the heck? Well, okay, there's video. I mean, that's something. It's with a camera. I don't need medical experience, so obviously I'm not going to. My phone went off. Rookie mistake. Obviously, I don't have medical experience, so I'm not going to like volunteer for the medical team or security or anything like that. So it's like, okay, well, video. Why not? I'll give it a go, see what happens. So sent out some emails, blah, blah, blah. Ended up talking to a guy named Mike Darling. And I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm Justin. I'm looking to volunteer if you have open spots, blah, 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 blah. So emails back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he's like, yeah, okay, let's put you on the film crew. I was like, sweet, I'm going to Wasteland. I'm going to Wasteland. Yeah. And then a few days later, I found out that Mike Darling is Makeshift from the Apocalypse Post. So all the videos that I've been researching and watching and like, oh my gosh, turns out he was going to be my boss. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is awesome. Yeah. And it was cool. So the day finally arrives and I show up and I'm excited and I'm nervous and I'm anxious and I'm like, turns out I was able to get early entry because I was part of the film crew and I wanted to shoot some of people setting up. Unfortunately, I didn't get there early enough to do that. I did get a few clips, but it did allow me to get my camp kind of set up and sleep and hit the ground running the day that the gates were open for the general attendees. But anyways, I showed up not knowing anything. It's my first year, so I show up in blue jeans and a shirt because I drove like 6 hours, something like that. And I show up and I'm asking people, okay, where do I park, blah, blah, blah. So I find this little area and I park and there's lots of stuff going on around it. They haven't opened up all the parking and camping areas yet because, it's early access. And I park and I get out and I'm like, okay, time to go find Makeshift and introduce myself, tell him who I am, chat, see what his expectations are, what mine are, that type of stuff. And anyways, so I just walk in because it's early entry. I know I don't have to truly be in outfit yet. And I get some weird looks like this guy's new. He's never been here before, obviously. But anyways, that was funny. So I go talk to Makeshift, blah, blah, blah. Come out, back to my truck. Now, I didn't start unpacking my truck or anything because I knew I'd probably end up moving it because it wasn't where I wanted to camp. I wanted to camp in the silent theme area so I could actually sleep because I knew I'd be busy all day. Neither here nor there. Anyways, I get back and people are like, are you planning on camping here? Like, we're trying to save this spot for people. I'm like, no. I'm actually want to move down into the silent zone, but it's not open yet, so I just kind of parked and need to talk to Makeshift because I'm part of the film crew, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, you want to drink? I'm like, freaking yeah, sure. And I bring out like all my stuff looking for my cup. And we're drinking the same type of vodka. They're like, oh my gosh, you drink this vodka too? You're in. You should just camp here. It was funny. And I'm like, no, I'm still new. I'm trying to be in my shy little bubble here, people. Why are you trying to break me out? Oh. So I get changed and I go in and I film some stuff and whatnot and come back and chat with them some more. No, I'm going to go over into silent camping. It's all right. I'll sleep here tonight because they weren't expecting their rest of their tribe or whatever until the next day. So I was like, if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to sleep in the bed of my truck. And then once they open the gates for the rest of it, I'll move, set up camp. Okay, cool. Well, shortly after, they're going up and they found Makeshift because they're friends and whatnot. They're like, he told me, he's like, oh yeah, they were talking. I'm like, I am so sorry. I didn't know where I should go and stuff. So first light, I booked it out to them. And I was like, no. They actually want you to join the tribe. Like, they want you to move back. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I just spent like however long setting up my camp way out in the boonies. Now they want me. It was awesome. Good times. Yeah. It was good times. That was a funny story. I know you probably had to be there, but anyways. I showed up, and when I talked to Makeshift, he kind of gave me this like schedule that one of the other participants made for us, and it was this thing was a lifesaver. You don't get these as the general public, if you will. These were made specifically for specific volunteers and stuff, and it kind of goes through, and it's like, this is happening at this camp at this time, and this is happening on the main stage at this time, and blah 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 blah. So Makeshift hands me these, and apparently I'm the first videographer on location, whatever. And says, oh yeah, just pick a few, per day, sign up for those, and then that's what you're responsible for filming. And if you see other stuff, film it. If you don't want to film it, don't film it, that type of thing. And I'm looking at these, and I'm like, I have no idea what any of this is. So I picked a few main stage things and a few random things, and I was like, okay. And I went back, take it back to him. He's like, oh man, you signed up for some awesome stuff, blah blah. I'm like, cool. Like, if someone else wants these, you can bump me to something else, because I honestly don't know what I'm signing up for. He's like, oh, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. I'm like, okay, cool, yay. So next morning I wake up, and one of the things was I was main gate, like entry when they're letting everyone in. So I'm like, okay, well, let's get that knocked off right away. So I had gone and I moved my truck, and I go and I start filming everything, and I ended up walking almost a mile way out in the trucks, or in the line of cars, and basically the mile back. And oh my gosh, you see just cars as far as you can see, and it's awesome. You're like, holy heck. Very glad that I got early access, that's for sure. But yeah, apparently they start lining up at like midnight, the day of, technically the night before, that type of thing. And some people party, some people sleep, some people, whatever, just sit out and meander and talk and whatnot. But the line is massive. So either get there really early and be prepared to wait in line, or unfortunately get there like really late, because it took poor check-in crew. I mean, I'm sure they were going as fast as they could, but it took the majority of that first day just to get everyone in and through and get their bracelets and waivers signed and all that jazz. Anyways, so go volunteers on check-in. You guys worked your tails off. Oh yeah, I gave the vulgar warning, so I can just swear it all up. Fucking shit, yeah, bitch. Okay, I don't know what that was. That was my immaturity spiking a little bit. So after I filmed the line and all that stuff, went and made breakfast, set up my camp, yada yada. But that first day, start to finish, I mean, I had lunch and I smoked cigarettes and bathroom breaks and all that good stuff. But that first day, I did a 17-hour day filming. Yeah. I think the next day was like 15 hours, and they slowly petered off until the last day, and I bumped it back up again. But tons of footage, batteries, tons of walking around, standing, watching, learning, focusing, getting my exposure right, all the camera technical stuff. But yeah, 17-hour days the first day. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this week. But I did, and it was awesome, and I plan to do it again. I'm a survivor. I will survive as long as I know how to love. I know I'll be alive. Okay, yep. Okay, so I will say that one issue I definitely struggled with was when to put the camera down, which for me turned out to be almost never. Weird, I know. But being also a photographer, and I mean, that's where my passion more lies, is photography, still images as opposed to video. But it was hard because I wanted to take all these photos, but it was like, well, I'm already set up for video. I don't want to, take it off the tripod, change all my settings, get one shot, put it all back together and start filming it. So I just filmed a ton. I haven't had a backup camera on me just for stills, and I still like, well, this is a once in a lifetime type of thing. I'm just gonna film it, So it was definitely weird, and I kept telling myself, wake up. I'm like, okay, today I'm gonna focus on photography, and I go out and I take like 15 photos and be like, oh, I gotta switch this over to film and film this because this is gonna be great for Makeshift and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah. So it was weird. I still have to figure out for next year how I'm gonna do that. But I got some ideas. They're plinking around in the old clinker. I don't know. Rolling around in the old noodle. We'll go with that. I will say that being part of the video crew is a very unique experience. I'm sure this happens elsewhere, but don't quote me on it because I've only volunteered for the video crew. But it was, in some aspects, I got to see so much because I was official video crew. And I was like, ha ha ha, I get to go, behind stage, just for example. Ha ha, no one else gets to do this, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, there's also things that, like, I wasn't invited to because the camera, So it's kind of weird. And for the most part, I mean, there's so many people with cameras out there, no one really cares. But there was definitely some times like, am I being creepy because I'm in here and I have the camera, even though the camera's turned off and the lens is pointed down, so obviously I'm not filming anything. But it's like, I don't know. This is kind of weird. I don't want to be creepy, I mean, there's a lot of skin around. And consent is key at Wasteland, just in life in general. But especially at Wasteland, like, don't be a douche, So consent is key. And so all this skin is walking around and you're like, yeah, I want to film this. But I'm like, can I? Is it appropriate? I don't want to be that guy. I mean, there's a girl who by profession is a stripper, exotic dancer. And I mean, she's run around topless for almost the entire week. And cool, awesome. And she's in all these main things and she's got a pole and she's dancing on it and just having fun and all this stuff. And I'm like, can I film this? I feel like I should film this, to capture the event. But at the same time, I feel like I'm such a creep. Like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm not even going to edit all of this footage. Like, that's on Makeshift. That's on you, buddy. Anyways, but it's like, I want to film it for the experience and to show what it is. But I don't want to be that creepy guy. I'm like, it was rough. Some choices were definitely made. And I feel like I missed quite a bit of footage because of how much skin was around. Not just by that one girl, but by many other people. But at the same time, I feel like I captured a whole heck of a lot that I wouldn't have seen had I not been on the film crew. Especially because I had the cheat sheet of events. Yeah. Anyways, I also had the little badge. It's like, official film crew. Yeah, I'm official. Take that, guidance counselor from high school. One thing that I definitely learned, not just specific to filming at Wasteland, but Wasteland in general, if someone says, hey, you want to do this, and you want to, yes, but it has to be now, especially for filming. Because I tried to like interview the medical team. Say like, who are you guys? What do you do? Why is volunteering for medical the best way to volunteer as opposed to anything else? I kept trying and kept trying and kept trying, and like 5 times I think I went there, and then I'm like, I'm too busy. I can't devote this time to you. And so many people are like, you gotta come here Friday this time. I'm like, I'll be there if I can, and never show up because I'm busy filming other things or participating in other things. I was like, Even Makeshift, he's like, hey, Makeshift, you gotta come do this or you gotta film this. Is it happening right now? No, it's like, I can't. I mean, I will try, but no promises. Because the video crew were walk into where we want to film, and I gotta film that. Oh, now I gotta film this. Now I gotta film this. Crap, I'm late to what I was gonna film earlier. And it's just, yeah. Apparently I film with my thumbs, like, I don't know. That was just awkward. Okay, moving on, because, this video is getting long. So for me personally, it was my first time filming live music, DJs, and any form of sports. So I hope I got some good shots. I think I did, because I really like them. But it was definitely new trying to film a sport that I didn't know the rules on. I did a little bit of research, but I'm like, I don't know. So trying to film a jugger match and trying to get the best footage I could and all that stuff. And I think I did okay. I got some really primo shots, if you will. I even lucked out because I put my GoPro right by the basket, the post. however you score the point. I don't know the terminology, obviously. And the guys come up and they run and then they slide and I'm like, oh crap, there goes my GoPro. You know, they probably kicked it and someone's like taking it to Lost and Found or something. And I come back and it's just kind of tilted. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like they slid like literally, 2 inches from hitting my GoPro and the shot looks awesome. And I'm like, ah. It was awesome because they also played right at the main stage. So all the like lights from the band stuff was on the game. So I got to go into slow motion and all the dust flying and someone comes up and he scores and it's all just such good shots. And then the music and bands and stuff, like first few days I was afraid to go backstage because I'm like, what if I trip over a wire and shut down the whole show? Like I don't want to be that guy, you know? So as time went on, I got a little more confident and comfortable and I would move around backstage, but I still wouldn't go anywhere near the actual stage. I was just way back here like, okay, zoom in. Maybe I get something, you know, all that stuff. But as the festival went on, as the weekend went on, I got much more comfortable and I actually ended up going onto the stage with one of the bands and like getting in close and getting shots of the drummer and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. Definitely you gotta be 100% on those moments. You know, you can't be drunk or anything like that, and you don't want to fall or get into like the lead singer's way because they're moving back and forth and screaming and yelling and singing and stuff. You're like, oh shit, oh goodness. But it was fun. So yeah, first time filming bands, first time photographing bands too, which was a lot of fun and I learned a lot. I even got a new lens once I got back home, so I would have better chances and stuff for that. And yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait to go again. Once I got home and I started throwing together some quick edits and whatnot, or when I showed people at Wasteland Weekend, I'm like, ooh, check out this shot real quick. I got a view. Like everyone, oh, you've got to send me that. Oh, you've got to send me that. Oh, I need this. Oh, I'm like, I don't know if I can. You know, I'm volunteering for Wasteland Weekend. I don't know if I can just give away the footage. So it took me a little while to get the answer, but I was able to get footage out to people. So that was cool. In fact, some of my footage went into, I hope I'm saying this right, Fleischkrieg's music video, and that was awesome. So, you know, seeing my work on someone else editing it and doing all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, that's my work. Anyways, another really cool thing was Jared, who's one of the like top guys. Like if there's 3 top guys, he's one of them. He actually knew me by name. I was filming the jugger match and I'm trying to, you know, stay on out of bounds and stuff and still get close, but be respectful and stuff. It's like, hey, Justin. I'm like, what? Someone knows my name? That's absurd. Like, you can move over here and do all this stuff. And I was like, no, it's okay, man. Like, calm down. Like, But it was awesome. I mean, one of the head honchos of the event knew me by name and I hadn't been introduced. So I'll take that as a win. Go ahead and brush these shoulders off, you know. Okay, just super quick. I was filming in DJ one time and the light was low and I had to kind of stay roughly in one little area so I could get any kind of usable footage. And I felt kind of like a pervert, you know, kind of like going back to the stripper story, but a different instance. This girl wearing very, very low clothing looked fantastic. And she's shaking her booty and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is awesome and this is great. And now I'm feeling creepy, like I should move, but I can't because the lighting is so, I have to be kind of here. And this girl is just shaking her booty. I don't even know if she knows I'm here or if, I mean, she kept looking over at me. I'm like, great, now I'm starting to feel creepy. So anyways, I moved to behind the DJ and I'm filming him and he's, you know, he's doing his mixing thing and stuff. Well, her and her friend come around and they start dancing there. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just found another spot that I wouldn't be creepy at and now you're here. And so I start packing up my stuff and one of the friends comes over and is like, are you kidding me? Film that ass. Look at that ass. You gotta film that. I'm like, okay, now I have permission. I'm not creepy. It was fun. I mean, I used a 2-second clip maybe of it, of all my videos and stuff, but it was one of those stands out to me. Like, don't be creepy, don't be creepy, don't be creepy. Okay, I'm gonna leave. No, you get back in there. It's definitely weird. How much do you put the camera down and experience things, and how much do you visually watch and just experience it through the camera? It was definitely a weird one. In fact, lots of times, Makeshift, my boss, we'd see each other around Wasteland and stuff. I was like, dude, put your camera down. Like, go have fun. I'm like, but I actually have fun filming. It's not like work to me. I mean, sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's like, this is me having fun. Trust me, like I'm okay. And there were times I tried to put down my camera and I'd start doing something and be like, I should be filming this. Not because it's my requirement or duty or anything like that, but it's like, I want to film this. I want to capture what's going on. So it was very weird for me as part of the film crew to be like, what do I experience? What do I shoot and experience through the lens? If that makes sense. It's kind of weird. Next year, I'm supposed to be bringing quite a few people and friends with me. So I think it will be interesting because if they're with me, I can literally pass off the camera and not have it in my hands and not have that temptation to film. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. My throat is getting a little rough and raw. That's because I like talking about Wasteland Weekend and I don't usually like talking, so that's why. Okay. I do want to do a commercial for Wasteland Weekend. I have it scripted. I have it kind of thought out in my mind. I just need an actor or motivation to get me off my own ass and do it. Anyways, yeah, so we'll see. I definitely want to because I think it's going to be fun and kind of cool and all that jazz. In fact, I was going to open these videos with that commercial, but I'm tired of putting off these videos because I haven't done that video. If that makes sense. Anyways, you get it. You get it, okay? Anyways, I hope this video has been fun and entertaining and informative. There we go. I'm learning words, English. Am I right? Yeah. So that's about that. I do, again, look in the description. You'll see a link or something. The Apocalypse post with Makeshift is absolutely phenomenal. His videos will cover much better what I'm talking about here, but I wanted to put my own personal spin on it. But yeah, so thank you for hiring me to do the video volunteer crew work and whatnot, for taking that chance on me and for trusting what I did, because it was cool. Like the first day he was kind of walking around making sure we all knew what we were doing, and every time he saw me he's like, cool shot, good angles, that kind of stuff, technical stuff. And then he started watching some of my footage, from what I understand, and he's like, oh, this guy, he's got it, okay, I can let him kind of do whatever he wants to. So that was awesome, and I was very proud of myself. Not egotistical, I hope, but proud of what I can do. And anyways, so yes, thank you to Makeshift and the Apocalypse post for not only hiring me, but for believing in me, for trusting me, and for also putting out all the information that you have put out in previous years that allowed me to experience Wasteland so comfortably and confidently because of all the research that I had done and the information that you had shared. I know it sounds like I'm kissing his ass, but nah. Yeah, the kissing ass part was the thank you gift that I sent him. But, anyways, I'm going to stop rambling and wrap up this video because I'm sure it's long and I still have to edit it all. Anyways, yep, as we say on my photography channel, until next time, friends, keep shooting. See, I still messed that up. You know what? Fuck you, Wasteland. Fuck you, Road Rash. I love you. You're my dirt fam and it's amazing. I'll see you soon in the wastes. Ha! Okay, bye.